conclusion to the 1966 Telecaster restoration project we had going on in the last few weeks. I'll be putting links up top to the previous videos involving the 66 Telecaster, so if you guys haven't checked them out, you can watch the backlog and follow along. So this guitar really came out great. Before I show it to you, I want to give you a little story, a backstory about it from a friend on Instagram. He reached out, he said, hey look, my friend is looking to unload a 66 Telecaster to really help him out in his situation. I made him an honest offer, he accepted it, shipped the Tele out. And the guitar had a horrible, looked like a paintbrush refin on it. But all the bones were there. Everything was great. The neck, the body was solid, no extra routes. The electronics were there. They just kind of needed some help. They needed some restoration work, basically. And I've done this before with the 57 Strat. And it's just a project I look for, especially with the winter months coming, and sometimes you want to keep yourself busy. So, you know, I was excited to go into this and get right to it. My friend Joel, JW Restoration, I went and refretted my 59 Strat and the Telecaster neck. Worked out great. I went with a 6105 style fret wire on that neck. You know, those have the pearl dots, but it's still a Brazilian rosewood veneer board. Joel also helped me apply a decal, and I got to learn a lot from Joel. And you know, it's always doing this, you know what I mean? You have to keep an open mind, and you have to understand that, you know, you can learn from everybody. And I don't take it as any kind of hit to my ego or something. If I can learn something, I'm always down for it, you know. And Joel is a wealth of knowledge, and he showed me a lot. We got the Tele neck refretted. And then I tapped into my friend Chad Underwood, who did a beautiful job on the 57 Strat restoration. A couple things to point out. When Chad got the body, he sent me a photo, and he said, Nick, you're not going to believe this. This is mahogany. So right away I thought, is it a fake? The body's not real. The only person I know that I can reach out to and is always there to help is my friend Francesco, Sesco's Corner. I did a video with him once before regarding the Maple Cap Strat. But I sent him some pictures and I asked him some questions. He goes, yeah, 66 era Teles, some were mahogany body and they were like a translucent red. And then Chad said he's seeing a lot of red in the cavities. So now my brain started going. What really happened was this guitar was victim to a varnish or a stained refinish at one point. So until Chad could seriously get the body stripped all the way, we were both sold that it was mahogany. But once he was able to clean the body off and really see the grain pattern, we did determine it was ash. Now, the red in the cavities was really odd. If it was a candy apple red guitar, we would have seen some kind of gold or silver undercoat. That's technically what would make the candy apple color pop. None of that. And if it was a translucent red, they only were really on the mahogany body Teles. So we kind of were at a crossroads here. Looking through a number of photos, and you know, Chad wasn't necessarily negating the fact that it could have been blonde, but he said there's red everywhere and there's blonde. It's kind of hard to tell. So I went with the blonde refinish. Take it right back to originality, what a 66 ash body Tele would be off the showroom. And that's what we went with. Now I want to talk a little bit about blondes. Blonde finishes from the 50s are extremely see-through. Now the 60s blonde is quite darker, almost a yellow characteristic, but you can still see the ash grain. Not as clear, not as, the opaque quality is much different with the 50s compared to the 60s. And you can Google any picture. Google a white guard Telecaster and Google a 66 Tele, and you'll see what I'm talking about. But if you've ever looked at a 66 Telecaster up close, yes, you can still see the ash grain through it. So we went with the blonde finish, and I kind of, you know, I wanted to age it a little bit, but nothing grotesque, nothing over the edge, nothing crazy. Just like a worn-in Tele that's been played. A couple of screws I needed, I reached out to my friend Bill at Traded In Music. He's always got whatever you need, pre-CBS stuff, and he had some screws and a couple of strap buttons I needed. But thanks, Bill. I appreciate you helping out with this project as well. So without further ado, let's check this Tele out. It's a lot of fun. It's the wrong case. It's a 59 Strat. What? Just at 7 pounds, if anything. For an ash bodied guitar, that's great for a Tele. You see the decal we have there, that was done. Back of the neck has some light wear. That's just all honest wear. Nothing was relic, as they say. And you can really see that kind of blonde burst come through there. It's just a great guitar, and everything with a little legwork and a little elbow grease, everything is original. From the electronics to the pots. The only thing I had to change was a couple of pieces of wire that were a little iffy, and I wasn't going to compromise the guitar functioning properly for a 2-inch piece of wire from 1966. So I changed some of that, and the frets and the bone nut and the decal. The decal is a really, really good, accurate repro. You know, nothing of an eyesore there, printed quite well. And this guitar just rocks, man. This is such a great guitar. You can hear in the video in the beginning. It's just fun to play. Now, obviously, you know, an Esquire is just going to have your single bridge pickup. And there are some similarities here with the gray bobbin as opposed to the black bobbin 57 Esquire. But in the bridge, this gray bobbin with the enamel wire, I hear a little more rounder sound, a little pleasing sound, almost... some of the high end is rolled off, but it still bites just enough, but it's just a little smoother on the ears. The middle position with the combo of the neck and the bridge gives you classic Telecaster picking near the bridge, country, western, honky-tonk, rockin'. It's just got really, really cool characteristics. Now when we go up here into the neck pickup, to me, this is a Stratocaster. This neck pickup sounds like a Strat. I spent a little bit of time adjusting the pickups. I think the neck pickup could go down a little more because it's not overpowering the bridge pickup, but it's extremely woofy compared to what's going on here in the bridge. But overall, the pots and the cap have great sweep. And you can see from the video I did earlier, repairing the electronics, I was trying to maintain a lot of that original character and those original components, and I did it, and I'm quite happy with the result. It said too is I had searched for one of these, searched for a 66 Tele because they were a little different. The neck shape, it was really, really comfortable, and the pickups kind of had some classic rock smooth characteristic to them. I've played many before, just couldn't get myself into one, but I just remember the neck pickup on these being quite stratty. So it was a short separation from what I'm used to with playing a Strat. And, you know, if I'm honest, the 57 Esquire bridge pickup, you really gotta wrestle that thing because it can get out of hand and your ears can be bleeding, you know what I mean? So this one just kind of takes a little bit of an edge off. All of the threaded saddles are still on here. The original adjustment screws. Like I said, everything throughout the guitar is how it was in 1966, besides the components I mentioned before. Hopefully the camera can pick up some of the B-roll footage here with Chad's amazing attention to the grain, and however he refinishes it and ages it, he gets the finish to sink into the ash, and it's quite nice. You know, you can feel it in your fingers here. You can feel it in your hands, and it just feels well worn. It feels well played, well loved. It's not an obvious relic or trashed and, you know, just a whole buckle rash in the back. No, the guitar is meant to look the part, and it does. Chad did a really, really great job. So I thank you, Chad, if you're checking this video out. I was also able to find a better case. The guitar being in great shape that it is now, the case that I had with it was just beat to hell. And it looked like it'd been through a war. So to find a nice clean case, period correct case, 66, 67-ish, with the tail logo for this guitar, it just sits comfortably, and it's a complete package. From, you know, top to bottom, it's all there. Super, super happy with this, and I'm happy with the way it came out. You know, for all my friends, too, that helped out with this, Sesko, Joel at JW Restorations, Chad Underwood, my buddy Matt helped me out with some things, helped me find it, helped me find some components, Bill over at Traded In. I'm really grateful because it's a complete guitar, and to be honest, I'm into it for my labor. It's really just a lot of work. I mean, yes, I paid for the refin, you know, and I paid for the fretwork, but the amount that I was paying to put into it, the guitar was worth it. It had the potential. It just needed the work put in. So This is the finished product of all of that work, all of the setup time, all of the previous videos restoring this 1966 Fender Telecaster. Super sweet guitar, super light guitar, and it's got tones in every position, even that one. Yeah. My friend Rich, who's a procurer of Blackguard logs, great site on Instagram. You should check them out if you're into vintage Telecasters. They created this calendar for 2021. Super special calendar, and it's filled with so many great photos of vintage Blackguard Telecasters with a little story at the end of each one. The most amazing thing about this is all of the funds raised by calendar sales. They are going to some of our favorite artists in need. And this time, you know, nobody's touring, nobody's out playing live shows, and it's super hard for these guys to stay afloat. And you know, with that extra burden of paying the bills and keeping things going, it's hard to tap into that side of your happiness, of your job, when you know you're in peril and you're trying to, you know, make ends meet. Some guys are going as far as selling off their gear, and you know, that's just sad to think of that. You know, some of our favorite artists might have to lose out on something just because they're in a tough time. You know, it's not easy for everybody. Not everybody in the music business is a millionaire. You know, no matter what you think, you get signed to a record label and you think you won, but it doesn't happen that way. So I just want to give a shout out to Blackguard Logs, my friend Rich, and the people there that helped out with this. Hats off to you guys, and good on you guys for giving back to some of our favorite artists. You can check them out. I believe these calendars are already sold out, which it's a shame. If you didn't get one, you may have missed the boat. But these are just incredible. And like I said, it's for a great cause and supporting the musicians we love, when we're inspired by. So I am, you know, beyond thrilled with how this guitar turned out. I couldn't have done it without the motivation and the kind words and the thoughts from everybody in the comments. You know, when I would post a video about this thing, whether it be the fretwork or the electronics repair or getting the body, getting it broken down and dissecting it, everybody was just really into it, much like they got behind the 57 Strat. And that means a lot, you know. I never want these to come off as bragging. It's just taking you guys along with me, and, you know, though it's not you guys doing a restoration project, at least you get to see step by step, and you get to see the finished product like this. Super cool tones, super cool guitar, lightweight guitar. I'm so happy it's lightweight too, being ash. It's just awesome, and I'm very pleased with it. I'm very happy.